Welcome back. Just a short drive down the coast of North Carolina, you will find some most unusual residents. The wild horses of Corolla have inspired countless stories.
But now DNA testing is allowing them to tell their own story. 10 on your side's Madison Pierman has the story. Madison.
Lots of stories going around here, Aisha, but this one super cool. This herd has truly stood the test of time, resilient and full of personality. Researchers galloped towards the opportunity to learn more about their origin and their lineage. When DNA testing became an option, there was no horsing around. Along the stretch of North Carolina's coast, on the shores of Corolla, you'll find a wild tale that stood the test of time.
Because what makes these horses special is where they live, their history here, the adaptations they've developed over the years to allow them to survive here.
It's believed these horses traveled here with Spaniards attempting to settle in the Carolinas. The humans may have failed, but their hoofed cargo certainly didn't. The famed banker horses adapted to the dunes, and they're still around today.
So this is Riptide. He will be 6 years old in May, but he was removed from the wild when he was about a year old. He was hospitalized for about 6 weeks there, but they saved his life.
Now a permanent resident at the Corolla Wild Horse Fund sanctuary, away from the untamed beaches, Riptide has risen to the occasion, helping track hoof prints in history using genetic testing. He's just one puzzle piece in a centuries-long lineage that's only recently been under a microscope.
The more we know about them genetically, how they behave, how they interact with their environment, how they interact with each other, the more we know about that and understand about that, we can meet them where they are and protect what they need.
Riptide's tissue sample is just one example of modern-day DNA testing involving an off-site lab. That lab sends data back to CWF, who then untangles the tail until they land on a parenting match. By sending his tissue sample to researchers, CWF is able to learn not only how to help his herd, but follow the family.
And at this point, we've got about 150 horses on file. Those include the horses from 2007. They include any horses whose DNA was collected over the years, but not necessarily processed. That includes any horse that we know of that was removed from the wild and living, in captivity now.
Collecting tissue samples from sanctuary horses like Riptide, pretty simple. Samples from horses still storming the dunes, though, not a stroll in the park or the beach in this case.
We will use a dart gun to collect the sample from the horse. And so this just goes into their hip right here. It just hits them like that, and then it pops right back out.
So what if they do find an anomaly in the genetic testing?
And it's a balance, right? Because, we don't want to play God. This herd has existed here for a lot longer than anybody has ever been managing them. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, the answer is you don't do anything.
Though tedious, tracking the herd's history and pinpointing their genetic needs helps sustain the dwindling breed, something CWF has made their life's work.
We've got a closed herd of horses, right? I mean, what's there is what's there. We cannot bring in other horses that are not banker horses to this herd. It's very important that not only do we know what their genetic makeup is, that we understand how they're all related to each other, but also what we can possibly do in the future to help preserve those genetics and keep the genetics healthy.
On wavy.com right now, we've got more information on the DNA project and how you can get involved with the Corolla Wild Horse Fund. Madison Pierman, 10 on your side.